Hi, everybody. I am just taping a quick session. I'd been watching Mary Beth Shaw. She had seen our Art Joyous sharing from last week where we had done gel printing. And so she was on Facebook demoing some of the things that we had shown in our live show. And so what I wanted to do to come on and try a couple of other things. Let's see. I just want to pull some of the paint through those places on the stencil. So I'm just going to pull that up, and that's the first print. Okay. Now I want to put some other color on here. So I'm going to grab a deeper, this is a marine blue. It doesn't take much. This is a Dina Wakley paint in marine blue. And I'm going to put that down. And that's going to go into those gaps that we had created. And I want to clean this stencil, so I'm just going to take that over and clean it off. Yeah, clean it off on another piece of paper. And this is going to dry a little bit, which is what I want it to do. And okay, so that's really subtle. But that's okay, because we just keep layering these pieces. So now, this is a Michelle Ward stencil. So now I've got that. And I've got this that is still pretty wet. So what I like to do normally is I will take a hairdryer that's got a cool setting on it. That's all right. I'm not too concerned. I am going to, I want to use some of this ancient color on here. This also is a Dina Wakley. And I'm going to put it out on another jelly plate and pick it up with my brayer because I don't want it very thick. And I just want to get a coating down on here like this. Get that metallic going. Because eventually what I'm going to want to do is pick up all the layers. So this is just a real thin layer. You can still see the image coming through. And that itself excites me. Now, what I have here is an old mustard bottle, and inside of here I have graphite. So I'm going to just open that mustard bottle, and I'm going to, sprinkle. That was a little bit more than I wanted right there. I'm going to sprinkle a little of that graphite on. Then I'm going to take another color. This time I'm going to grab, what do I want? Decisions. This time I'm going to use the Gilt, which is a gold color. And I'm going to put some of that down. On here over everything, the graphite and everything. Okay. See if I can get this back in. This is the hard part with these. Getting the little needle back in the tip of this is a chore for me. My bifocals are not working. Or is that trifocals? Anyway. All right, I'll master that later. Let's keep going with this. So now I'm going to brayer this down. With the gold and the graphite. And I've got a little bit more than I want. So I'm going to take a little bit of that up. But I want that grungy look of that graphite to show through. We'll see if we can accomplish that. So now I'm going to grab a piece of paper and pull my print and see what we get. See if it's lifting yet. Some of it is. I have to rub it a little bit more. See what kind of print we get. Well, that's pretty, but it's not really what I was looking for. You guys see that? So I've got a pretty clean plate now. So let me try something else. I've still got all of this paint over here that needs to go someplace. So I'm going to just pull that and I've got a light coat on there. I've got the stencil is still out, so I'm going to just pick up what was left on this plate. And hit it again. So I now have that for collage. I've got a light coat on here. So now I think instead of doing a stencil right away, I think I'm going to come back with the graphite again. Let's see what we can get with this. Okay, so I've got that. I want to put a color on here. So let's go for, let's see, I put the gold down first. Let's put on a Sedona. And that obviously is paint. Pull some of that back. Okay, I can see it starting to lift in some of those areas where the graphite is, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm going to take, this is a Seth Apter stencil, and I'm going to put that down on here. This time I'm going to pick it up with some deli paper. Let me do that. I just want to pull up what's in those areas of the cutout of the stencil. Like so. So that's pretty cool. And you can see the gold, you can see the black from the graphite, and you can see the Sedona. Now I've still got my image down there. And I'm going to take another piece of deli paper. And I'm going to pick up that print. Let's see what we get. Oops, I got more than one piece of paper here. So, of course, it's wrinkled. Let's see if I can straighten it out. Oh, yeah. Now we're starting to see some of that grungy goodness. You guys see the layers in there? I don't know if you can or not. I might have to take some stills and add them. But it's really getting interesting now. Okay, so I've still got all of this goodness on here. So what I want is something a little bit neutral, but metallic. So I've got this rosy color. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that down. And what I'm doing is I'm using that paint layer to moisten the underside that's dry now. And I want to lift that grungy goodness that's down there. So I'm just going to take a piece of, this is regular text weight paper. And I'm going to put that down. And I'm going to burnish that. Make sure I get good contact because I want to get all the way down to the bottom layer and get all of that, you know, crackly, grungy kind of stuff. The goodie. Okay, let's see if it's pulling. Oh, some of it is. Oh, yeah. Loving this. This is all good. Okay, can you see what the graphite is doing here? See where the dark color is? That's the graphite. And where the you can't really distinguish what that stencil is, but it's got the textural element in it. And that's the pay dirt that I'm looking for right there. That's what I wanted. Okay, I've still got a little grungy stuff on there. Doesn't bother me in the least. What I'm going to do with that is just leave it there because now I'm on a roll and I've got my goodness started. All right. So now I'm going to go back to this. I think this time I'm just going to put some white gesso down for my base. Let's try this because there's still color on the plate. But let's get some contrast between the layers. So I've got the white. Got a nice smooth layer of the white. Okay, and here we go. Got the graphite. Gonna sprinkle a little of that on. Just to keep it interesting. And let's see, what color do we want? Let's go with something dark now because we had the light. So I'm going to grab this eggplant. And I think I'll just roll it over here so I don't get too much of it. Just want it to have that grunginess that, you know, the different layers are going to give me. So roll that out. Oh, I'm loving that already. Grab some more paint. You guys see what's going on there? Don't want to roll over it too many times because I want to keep the integrity of that. Okay, so now I'm going to grab this Tracy Batista stencil, drop that down, grab my tissue paper, and clean out this is my clean out with the tissue paper. And this will all be layered into collage. This is wonderful stuff to have for your collage, but you want to clean out those holes. So now I've got that variegated texture on this. And you know, I don't know what I want to do. Yeah, I'll pull this. I'm loving what I'm seeing there. Get this stencil out of here. Gonna clean this one up. And I want something to go into this. So I think what I'm going to use, clean this one off, is I have this elephant gray. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that on there. Like that color. Okay, now we're gonna print that, see if we got a money print. Good for gold here. Nope, didn't center that on there, but that's okay. Not yet. Still got to burnish it a bit. It's still pretty wet. What you want is that paint to soak into the layers of the fibers in the paper. Oh yeah, grungy goodness. You guys see that? You can see where the gold is. You can see where the graphite is. You can see the different layers. And that is a very pretty paper. Okay. So, still have all this goodness on my plate, right? And we want to clean that up. So I'm going to go back to my ancient and put a light coat. Put that on here. Let's see if I can grab what there is left on the plate with a piece of tissue. I've still got paint over here that's wet. So I'm going to put this stencil back over that. Get a little bit of ancient. Brayer that onto the stencil. That's just the clean off. So let's see what we get with this. Gonna pull all that texture. Just like that. So cool. All right. Now I've got this. Got layers. I'm gonna just lightly tap out a little graphite on that. Let's see, we used a ancient. Let's grab something we have not done yet. Let's get this light turquoise blue back in here. And put it out on the big plate. And just use that to get my brayer lubricated. Oops. Okay. So now I've got my layers on there. And I'm going to get another piece of printer paper. And I'm going to layer that on here. Not my favorite, but there's still plenty of good stuff there. So I've got this piece, which was my cleanup piece that has a bunch of stuff on it. And I'm just going to try to pick up the rest of that. I think I'm going to spritz that with water. Lightly spritz. Come back and grab that. Yeah, Now that's much more interesting, right? And still plenty of goodness there. So let's get, where's that rose color? Rosy. And I'm going to brayer that on. And this time, I'm going to grab a piece of black paper. Lift that print with black paper. And there's another money shot. See if I can get the rest of this. Not much, but some. So that's pretty cool. Still got this on here. Need to do something with it. Gonna put some graphite down. Got the blue in the middle. And I'm going to use some of this olive. Right over the top. That is really good stuff right there. Let me get a piece of black paper because I don't want to lose that paint that's on the brayer, because even that is going to make an interesting paper. Okay. I've got this going on here. This is a little bit wet. I think I'm going to come back to a stencil. And I'm just going to lightly lift the stuff that's in the middle here. Just pulling it up through the holes of the stencil, like so. All right. Now I've still got all of this, and I'm going to put some of this blushing on here. And I'm going to get a piece of paper to throw the stencil onto, because it's got a lot of paint on it too. I like what's going on there, so I'm going to grab a piece of black and I'm going to pull that. Okay, now I've still got all of this, And what's on here? So I'm going to turn this up with all this paint I picked up from the plate. I've still got the image down there. I'm going to set this down. Take the piece that I was using as the cleanup and put that back. Now I've got all that textural stuff piling on. Let's see what we get with that. Oh yeah, see all that textural stuff going on there. Now I've still got this piece that I started with first. Looks kind of plain. And I've got this here. So gonna see which side is wet. This side is wet, so I'm going to put the wet side down on here. Don't have enough room on my desk, but that's okay. Going to clean off my stencil. And now I've got this. So I want something interesting to pull that with. And I don't want any of the colors that I've already got on there. So I need to grab another color. So let me look at what I've got up here. So here is a cad yellow light. There you go. So, what do you think? You like this? You like what's going on? Got that. We got that. Got that one. These two. And of course, these pull-ups like this. And like this. a couple of these. And then my favorite from this evening, which is this one. You guys see that? It's got shimmer. It's got texture. It's got it all. So that's it for me tonight. Be sure and catch Art Joy is Sharing live stream tomorrow at 10:30 Central Time. I'll see you then. Bye.